So, we're going to talk about something that I really don't touch on very much on this channel. Being as the fact that I do consider myself a Christian, I'm not an extremely religious person. I'm not certainly going to be a Bible thumper. But I do, consider myself to be a Christian. Okay. However, speaking of the Bible thumpers and the utterly religious, let's talk about that today. So, obviously, you've got pastors out there who just simply try to go out, spread a message that they find to be good, but then you've got a lot of people out there who want to spread that message, and they hope you'll spread your money around. They pass that offering plate around a lot. Now, who am I getting at? People like Kenneth Copeland, Jesse Duplantis. Go back to the 90s. You can even look at Robert Tilton. Okay? Remember, Robert Tilton saw midgets grow, by the way. Okay? If you haven't seen that clip, I recommend giving it a look. But Jesse Duplantis and Kenneth Copeland, they argued why they had to have their private jets. And Kenneth Copeland said he can't fly in regular planes because it's been in a long tube with demons. Okay? Well, turns out in the middle of our pandemic, now I'm a little late on getting to these clips, but I'm going to play a couple of clips here because, hey, Kenneth Copeland's got it down pat, man. Hey, this crisis is going to be over in no time. Okay, the pandemic, that's done, man. Matter of fact, that video I just made talking about whether we can reopen the economy without crashing the healthcare system, reopen the economy tomorrow. We won't crash the healthcare system because we don't have to worry about this anymore.
COVID-19.
COVID-19.
I blow the wind of God.
The wind of God.
On you.
On you.
You are destroyed forever.
You are destroyed forever.
And you'll never be back.
And you'll never be back.
Thank you, our God.
Thank you, our God.
Let it happen.
Let it happen.
Cause it to happen.
Cause it to happen.
Really, man? That was pure genius. I can't think of a better way to kill a virus and end a pandemic than just to blow your slobber all across the room. Wow. Let's break this down for just a moment, shall we? Kenneth Copeland is worth how many millions of dollars? I know it's a pretty good bit. And I don't think and I believe it's triple digits millions. Matter of fact, I think he's pretty close to being a billionaire. Somehow, I don't believe that what God had in mind, as far as men who would represent him and spread his message to the rest of the world, would be people who almost have accumulated the same amount of wealth as people who were doing very sinful things in the world and trying to manipulate, God's creation, right? Trying to manipulate the earth for their own benefit. Assuming if you're a religious person and you believe that. Somehow I don't feel like God had that in mind as his choice messenger. Now, people would say God could work through many different people, but that's neither here nor there. We can reference some things in the Bible that show, if you believe it, God doesn't exactly tend to lean towards the utter rich. I mean, the meek shall inherit the earth. It's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter heaven. Why is that in there? And if you're a man of God, then why are you racking in millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars when it is most certain, if you're trying to follow the Bible's teachings, there are how many people out there in dire need of serious help? And see, to all the libertarian folks out there and heavy right-wingers who say we don't need social safety nets, let the churches take it over. You mean that jackass? He's supposed to take the mantle up? He's pocketing his money. Yeah. Okay. If he was really trying to invest as much of that, he could be living a nice, comfortable life. Now, if he needed his little plane to travel and just enough to fly that sucker around, okay, fine. That's cool. Do you have to have the big, massive mansion of a house? No. And I don't want to hear the whole argument about how, well, I do for the Lord, so the Lord provides for me. No. First of all, based off your own religion that you're claiming you adhere to, why are you concerned about all these earthly possessions? I'm pretty sure the Bible also kind of speaks of that being worldly things, worldly possessions. So why are you concerned by this? Your reward is waiting on you on the other side, right, Kenneth? You don't need all this stuff at home because you've got a throne waiting for you when you die, right? You're going to be greatly rewarded. I mean, that's kind of what the Bible talks about. All the crowns you will receive when you go to heaven. So your reward's waiting for you, dude. Why are you trying to convince me that God's giving you heaven on earth, but nobody else gets that? No. You're just taking people's money and you're buying stuff. And what the heck was all that crap with these people repeating everything he said? Tell me that does not sound like a complete cult right there. And maybe it's just me, but something about Kenneth Copeland's face screams mummification. I don't know what it is, but the dude looks like he is well past his expiration date and is being preserved. It's kind of creepy looking, honestly. Nonetheless, he went and the virus was gone, right? Except somebody forgot to tell the virus that because it didn't go away. Which then led Kenneth Copeland to give it a...
In the name of Jesus.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Standing in the office of the prophet of God, I execute judgment on you, COVID-19.
Oh, Ramash.
I execute judgment on you, Satan, you destroyer, you killer. You get out. We break your power. You get off this nation. I demand judgment on you. I demand a vaccination to come immediately.
Yes.
I call you done. I call you gone. You come down from your place of authority, destroyer. You come down and you crawl on your belly like God commanded you when he put his foot on your head in the Garden of Eden.
That's about as nutty as the first clip. Okie dokie. First of all, did it only seem this way to me, or what do you people think? I don't know who that guy was standing beside Kenneth Copeland. Certainly wasn't practicing social distancing there, by the way. But was it just me? Or did it seem like he was either A, giving the facial expressions that this is the way he acts when he's, having a massive constipation problem. Because it looked like that's what he was trying to do, was just pass a good one. Okay? Or B, choice number 2 here. Did it look like he was, just trying to envision getting something he's probably never going to get in his life? You can do the math on what we're talking about there. Okay. Nonetheless. Okay. Kenneth Copeland. Now you're arguing with it. Come down from your position of authority. Well, first of all, it sounds like you're trying to give the impression you're talking to the devil. Right, Kenneth? To the devil. Devil's got a position of authority. I thought that went against almost everything I've ever heard preachers, particularly you televangelists, talk about. The devil has no authority, right? God has the authority. Not the devil. It's God. We can pray it, and it shall be done. So how do you get authority? Can you explain that one? Because all I hear all the time is that you people can pray for it and it's done. Well, you went and blew the wind of God. And now it's supposed to get rid of it. But it didn't happen, right? So now you're arguing with it. You call it doggone. I'm sure you hurt its feelings. I mean, wow. I don't know how it's going to stand to take your verbal abuse much longer. Okay? Nonetheless, while he's got all these millions and millions of dollars and could be really investing into trying to find that cure or doing something to help combat this, I don't know, even maybe help set up some makeshift hospitals or something. Something to try and help the pandemic. No, you're going to blow on it and go out and then yell at it because it decided it didn't give a crap about you blowing on it. It was going to stick around anyway. Now you come back and do all this. And now, first time it didn't want to listen, but it's going to listen to me this time around. Sure it will. Let's take a stroll down the history lane. Not memory lane, because none of us were around back then. We'll go down the history lane. You ever heard of the Black Plague? A lot of priests tried to pray the Black Plague away as well. Go read up on that a little bit. Pretty much will tell you that religion at the time kind of got shaken to the core because it wasn't working. All that praying didn't seem to work too well. Wonder why. Okay? Simply because this isn't just something you're going to blow on or say a couple of words and it's just going to go poof, goodbye. No. That is an old codger who has made himself rich off of playing up to people's fears and thinking that he can tell them this and that or heal their ailments and then tell them if you do this or that and send me some money, you'll have, an eternity in heaven. That's what you've got right there. He's just a very charismatic con man. Plain and simple. And quite frankly, I put him right up there with the people from Wall Street who are trying to rip our, Treasury Department dry through this pandemic. You're right on in there with them, man. You're not going to tell people to keep their money so they can take care of themselves throughout this crisis because they're going to need it for food and their bills. Oh, no. While you're sitting there going all over the place and yelling at COVID-19 to leave, you're going to graciously, and I'm sure so humbly accept the donations. And for that, you're a jackass.